excited. I was kind of like, what am I talking about today? It'll all come. Day 4. This is day 4 of the Galactic Portal Activation that I am collaborating with Felicia, Be Soul Light 379. That is her channel. Felicia Be Soul Light. She talks about the galactic kin every day and does a reading about where we're at in this portal. And it aligns right with what we're going to talk about today, which is the inner child shadow work, what's showing up for you. And the third person is Amethyst Rise 23. No, that's not right. Amethyst Rain 23. That's what it is. On Instagram. She does some sound healing. So she wraps it all together with some sound healing. You can probably listen in any order. It builds on each other. Each day builds on the next. So hi Felicia. I was on yours too. I was listening in the background as I was getting ready. So my friend Felicia's here. So she's the lead on this. All right. So let's see. What is the topic? What am I talking about today? What's been showing up for you? What are you noticing? There's nothing to look for. That's what it is. There's nothing to look for. Right? What does that mean? Oh, I just had a conversation with someone who was, I'm going to lean into this and I'm going to feel what it is. And I went, you don't need to do that. Something happened in her life, a situation that the question I asked was, where in there did you not listen to yourself? Having a new pet sitter. Where did you not listen to yourself? There was something that came through that you didn't pay attention to, and your voice overrode it. Just like, let me think about that. No. So this is where this comes from. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to search for it. You do not have to look for anything. It will be revealed. It'll be revealed when we stop searching. Queen of manufacturing stuff over here. Because I was broken, wounded, and damaged beyond repair. So I was always looking for something to fix about myself. And it took me several years to realize that there's nothing to search for. Whatever is being presented is what I get to look at. And there's not always something. So I don't always have to go look for something just to have something to do. How about that? Whatever is showing up, whatever you're noticing, take note. Pay attention. Observe what's happening. What's the thing? What's the repeat thought? What's the message that maybe you've heard 3 or 4 different times from 3 or 4 different people or places or things you listen to? That's what you listen to. That's usually your cue to either take the next step or listen to the thing that you ought to take a look at to clear, release, heal. Most of us, if not all of us on this path, have done a lot of work. We've done a lot of transformation. We've already done it. We've already written it out. We've already word vomited it. We've already spoken to a therapist. We've already had a coach. We've already done all those things in some way, some variation. So we don't have to search for things. They are going to show up for you. It could look like judgment. Hi, Mel. It could look like something that someone said to you that just triggered you or poked at you, or you interpreted it as that. I had that happen recently. I read a text and I was already in my own space of whatever was going on, and I felt poked. When I reread it later, it was not that at all. But because I was already sensitive about something going on, I felt poked. That's the piece to look at. Like, that's the gap to look at. Thanks. So that's the place you look. That's the place you pay attention to. What is it that's being revealed to you? Don't search for it. You know, the people talk about when you want to be in a relationship, stop looking for the partner and they'll show up for you. Because we stop pressurizing the universe and we stop pushing it away and we stop grasping in desperation. So let it be revealed. Just be observant. We will complicate it. Because we think it's supposed to be that way. Because we don't know how to do it different. That's how we've been taught. We're stepping into new energy, new territory as we are shedding the old. Yeah. So we're doing things in new ways. The energy's brand new. So if it's uncomfortable, it's meant to be. Hi, Donna. It's meant to be. Because it's all brand new. Hello. Ian. Is that how you say it? It's all brand new. We're straddling. A lot of us are straddling. So when we're straddling, we're still trying to hold on to the old because it's familiar. It's comfortable. It's known. Whether we like it or not, it's a known place. We know the rules. We know the behaviors. We know the feelings. Stepping into new places, letting go of the old, healing that inner child, looking at the shadow. The mind's like, nope, not safe. Nope, don't look over there. It's not safe over there. Don't look. But if we don't look, it's going to keep chasing us. I just love that visual. Your shadow's chasing you until you turn around and look. Shine a light on it. See, I always think of Peter Pan. Remember when he's got the shadow and they're playing around and shadow chases them. Our behaviors will continue to chase us until we deal. I once stepped into a new building. Immediately got kicked out. How else was I supposed to know that the morgue was off limits? I don't know. You were listening apparently to know that it was off limits. Yes. My husband we had just moved here. We've been here 4 years now in Oklahoma, and he was out in the shop and he got that like hair rising on the back of his neck and got a very clear message to go back in the house. So the spirits were cleaning up the land. So you just listen. Because when we don't, we either cause ourselves harm or someone else. What's consistently showing up for you? What's the thing that you don't want to look at because it's too painful? Or I've already done that. This is just how it is. If you're not willing to unpack it, it's just going to keep haunting you. You're going to keep picking the same kind of relationships, the same kind of people. Settling, this is one of mine. I didn't even see it like this. Settling for breadcrumbs. Settling for whatever someone's willing to give you in the relationship. Because that's what we did as children. And how many of us listened to the words that were spoken, but the feet didn't match? And we still do that today. We want to believe the words, but the feet and the lips don't match. And now you add another element. Feet, word, and energy has to all match. If they don't, better be listening up. I love strong. Weird Allison Yankovic. Now it's three things. It's not just our feet and our mouth. Your energy has to match. Because that's what's coming through. That's what the universe is reading. Not our words and not our actions. Not as much as our feeling and our way of being. That's what we're putting out there. That's what the universe reads. That's what it gives back to us. So if you're seeing things showing up that you're not happy about, it's because we're still on default. We're still operating from the unconscious because we weren't really willing to look, or we didn't know to look, or we didn't know we were operating from that. Why do I keep getting the same relationships? Why do I keep getting the same poverty? Why do I keep getting the same judgment? Why do I keep getting the same people throwing their shit at me, their energy or their words? Why do I keep getting the same thing? Because that's the vibration I'm putting out there. Unconscious by default. We've been paving the road for our whole entire life on default. And until we know different and choose different and shine a light at the dark, we keep doing that and wondering why nothing really changes. Some might change, but there's still this core place that's the same. So until we're willing to look in there and shift that, we'll keep by default creating the same thing. People are afraid of change. They're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of what might be over there. Who am I? Here's a great journal prompt I love to do. Who am I without? Fill in the blank. Who am I without the fear? Who am I without the story? Who am I without the things that have brought me here? This identity that I've created that's brought me here in my life. It's time to say goodbye to the survivor. Thank them. Him, her, whatever pronoun you use. Thank them for getting you here. And shed. It's the year of the snake. Shed the skin. Step into the new. It's uncomfortable as hell. Most of us don't like change. Anybody like change? Somebody said, I used to think, oh yes, I love change. If I'm in control of it and I'm deciding, is that really change? No, not at all. Because I'm trying to formulate it and control it. How is that change? Yeah, change truly is stepping into your desire, being open to the flow, allowing life to happen as we are putting out our energy of love, joy, abundance. If I keep putting the same thing out, I keep getting the same thing back. The shadow will keep chasing you. Who am I without? I love that. Thank you for putting that there. Who am I without this identity that's brought me to this place? What happens when we shed the old and we have a blank slate to create from? What happens? You'll see where there's room to grow and clear by what's showing up. What are you attracting? Who are you attracting? What kind of events are you attracting? Sometimes they're for our growth. Sometimes they're because we're too afraid to take the next step. And I like where it's comfortable. What happens when you shed the old? Holy cow, then you're left in a place of feeling really open and vulnerable to create anything. When I'm shedding old, I'm like, okay, well, now who am I? When I stopped being broken, I was never broken. When I stopped feeling like I was broken, damaged goods, there was this moment of clarity of, holy cow, I'm a whole complete human being exactly as I am. That was foreign to me. I spent a lifetime trying to repair me by fixing you. It never worked. So then my question is, I'm a whole complete human being. Creator created me exactly whole and complete, just because I am. I've lived a lifetime of proving I'm worthy and valuable. That was the driver. Who am I without the driver? Who am I as a whole, complete human being? What drives me if it's not the fear of proving my worth? Healing the wounded child, yes. I'm gonna let you sit with that. I just sit with that. Who am I? If I'm not trying to prove my worth, who am I as a whole, complete human being? What drives me? What's the driver? If it's not the survivor motivating you out of fear. And when we heal that wounded child, how do we heal the wounded child? There's many, many ways. There's many, many avenues, many, many versions, many programs. One of the probably simplest ways, first of all, is if you have not ever done that, I'm going to assume that everyone here has done some kind of inner child work and you've already met the inner child, because that's a whole process. And then you create this relationship with your inner child. So when something's coming up for you, something's being revealed to you, go to the child. The child knocking on the door. So imagine this. You open the door. There's a version of your child right there. What do they need from you right now? Not this adult, judgmental person that I've become over time. But what does this child need from me right now? And you sit with the child and you honor the child and give them the space to have their feelings, have their emotions, have their tantrums or whatever it might be until they're done. And then maybe you hug them and you hold them and then you can bring them in. You can hold their hand and take a walk. It's all in your imagination. That's how the healing continues. Is when we can accept the child where they are and allow them to have the space to feel what they feel and then carry on. Because the more we deny it and the more we keep trying to not deal with it, the more it chases us. So really, that's just a really simple exercise to continue the evolution. Over time, I started when I was young, probably 3 or 4 or 5. I have memories from 4. I have few memories before that, but most of mine started at 4. And then that relationship evolved, and then I became the teenager. Oh my God, that was fun. You know, attitude-y teenager. And here's something else that you can do. If you have a memory of something, let's just say the child knocked on the door, you've opened the door, what's going on? What are you feeling? And you're honoring that space. You can sit with that child and revise the situation. What happens is it's rewiring your nervous system and your consciousness. So you can revise it to be different. Tell a different story about it. Sometimes it might be the purpose of it. Sometimes it might be just totally rewiring it to be the way that you wish it had been. And we stop blaming our parents for being someone that they were. We wish they were different. I was mad at my mom and dad for a long time for not being who I wanted them to be. But they couldn't be that. They didn't know how to be that. None of us can be what we don't know how to be. And they can't teach us what they don't know. And we chose. We chose our parents. They chose us so that we could be right here today. Who we are, how we are, with the experiences of our life. It may have sucked. It may have totally sucked, but it was for our purpose to be here now. Pissed me off when I heard that. I would never have chosen those parents. Me. Yeah, I had to know what what it was to know what it is now. The contrast. The core of me is love. That's my biggest gift, ability, lesson, whatever you want to call it, is to be love. And I had to know what that wasn't to know what it is. To be forgiving, to be compassionate, to be joyful, whatever that is for you. You have to know what it isn't to know what it is. And as deeply as I was, somebody told me this one time and I was like, So as deeply as you are, fill in the blank, angry, hurt, depressed, is also as deeply as you can love, feel happy, and feel joy. Let me tell you, that terrified me. I knew how angry I was. I had no idea how to be that loving. Not to give it or receive it. Loved. Yes. So take that to the bank. This is huge. This was so huge for me. As deeply as whatever the fear emotion, let's just call it that. Whatever that fear emotion is, as deeply as you can feel that, is as deeply as you can love. And we know what that is. But do you know how to receive and to give that kind of love and joy and compassion to your, not only to the world, but to yourself? It's huge. It's a huge thing. This one. I have a client at the top of the hour, so I'm gonna wrap it up in a few minutes here. Here's the card that just flew out of this deck, which is the Secret Language of Light. I know it's backwards. I think so. Authentic truth. It takes a lot to get real with ourselves and be authentically truthful. And even when we think we are, there's still things that lay low because we just can't look yet, or we're not willing to look yet, or too scary to look yet. Things are done in layers. There's not a one and done of anything in my life experience, like in the healing process. Everything is a process. So it's layer by layer by layer. And, they talk about, God will never give you more than you can handle. That's not something I say, but what I know to be true about that statement is I will only deal with what I can handle. That's all my mind will ever let me do. The moment I feel unsafe, I'm going to return to what feels safe. So it takes, it's that layers and layers and layers. Learn the truth. Here's two of them about the truth. Get the light off of it. Yeah, the owl. The wisdom. Look for your signs. Learn the truth. What is your truth? People say, oh, I have the ultimate truth. Well, there's 11 million, billion, whatever. How I said 11 million. I think there's 8 billion is the last count. I'm not sure. On this planet, and everyone has their own truth. You're going to resonate with some and not a lot. Right? And sometimes it takes asking someone else to show us. Help me see myself. What is the thing I cannot see about myself? And often it's when you're looking at someone, what you don't like about them. Oh, this is precious. This is from the Inner Child deck. The other one was the Talisman. This one is the Inner Child. And it is, you deserve to be seen. Let yourself be known. And I promise you're seen whether you think you are or not. I was told by a mentor one time that people are always watching you. And I was like, oh, no, they're not. I'm just doing my thing. I'm being a wallflower like I always was. It was probably a year or two later that someone said to me, verbatim, we're watching you. We've been watching you. And I was like, holy crap. It's like it was just so clear, like smack. Yep, we've been watching you. We're always being watched. People are always watching what we do. We are bright light in the world. There is no hiding. That's why it's imperative that we do our shadow and our child work. Transformation. Imperative that we do this. Because if we don't, we're going to keep taking on all the other people's stuff thinking that it's ours. It's no longer our job. Turn your blinkers inward, bring your energy in, deal with you. Go check out Felicia, Be Soul Light. It's BSOULIGHT 379. And Amethyst Rain 23 on Instagram. Check those out. Follow the days. We've been tagging on each other. Donna does the sound healing. I got the shadow inner child stuff, and Felicia's talking about the crystals and codes and the kin for the day and the galactic portal that's open right now. All building on the other. So check them all out. Shine bright like a diamond. Yes, and not a diamond in the rough. Beat the diamond. All right, lovelies. Got to get ready for my next call. Have a beautiful afternoon. I will see you here tomorrow. Namaste.